Send in the clowns. Senator Bernie Sanders enlisting Chinese scientists to sell his AI is bad message, seeking a pause on America's dominance so the world can work on it together.
What I suspect that most people in the United States, China, and around the world believe is that we need international cooperation between the nations of the world to prevent the possibility of a cataclysmic development. We need to cooperate. We need dialogue.
Joining me now is O'Leary Ventures Chairman Kevin O'Leary. Kevin, always good to see you. Now, I know you're an open-minded guy, but it sounds like a terrible idea to be inviting AI scientists from China to come here and tell us what to do with AI. What do you think?
Well, here are the facts. China is our adversary. They are building more power than we are and then using it to power data centers to advance both economic interests and, of course, military as well. You know, AI has already proven itself in all 11 sectors of our economy to be something that's very powerful as a tool to enhance the economy through productivity and margin enhancement. That's why the markets are hitting new highs, even while we have all this conflict around the world. But make no mistake about it, if we don't be very careful, China will use this to really go after what they want militarily. Because AI, if you look at the war going on in the Middle East right now, very advanced precision ordnance driven by technology. The next stage is robotics. I mean, we can't let the Chinese beat us in AI. And so, you know, we've got to build more data centers. We've got to build more power. We've got a lot ahead of us here because they're beating us on this. We cannot let this happen. Bernie, I get it. He's very, very good at sound bites, but he's way offside on this one. No, 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 no. Don't invite any Chinese guys here to look at our stuff because we're competing with them. Yeah. And they are also competing with us. One of us is going to win. It better be North America, and it better be freedom of speech and democracy, or we're all screwed.
Well, I'll tell you, and something you've taught me is every AI scientist in China reports directly to Xi Jinping. Let's just be clear. They're not here to talk academically. They are here on the permission of the CCP.
You're right about that, but you know, it's not the Chinese people we worry about, or I don't anyways. The Chinese government is very clear on what their mandate is. They want world dominance. Yeah. They want to compete. They want to be the biggest economy, and they want to be the biggest militarily. And I don't think that's a good outcome. That's not where I want my kids living. Right. And so let's step up and understand what's going on here. And what we need is capacity, AI compute capacity. This is a national security issue. There are some states stepping up. I want to just do a big shout out for Governor Cox in Utah, who gave a speech this morning about exactly this. He's stepping up as a state. He wants to build data centers there. I want to build them with him. And there's other states as well. We've got to compete. We've got to give our companies compute power to stay ahead of the Chinese, period.
Okay, I want to get your take on this one, Kevin, as well. Our neighbor to the north, Prime Minister Mark Carney in Canada, announcing a first ever sovereign wealth fund to counter Trump's trade pressure. The Canada Strong Fund will begin with $18.3 billion, with new plans to invest in energy, infrastructure, agriculture. I guess it's a two-parter for you. One, do you like sovereign wealth funds? And two, does Canada have any business getting in that business?
So it's not quite technically correct. In the 70s, when Norway started theirs, Alberta started one as well. They both had the same amount of oil and gas. And if you look at what happened, Norway became the wealthiest nation on earth per capita because they didn't piss away their money. Unfortunately, in the case of Canada, it went into all kinds of programs that didn't work out. And the government there used it as a honey dipping pot to just waste capital. I'm sorry to say that because it's true. So here's another attempt. That was Alberta Fund in the mid-70s. And by the way, I mean, Alberta is still the richest province in terms of energy of any of the Canadian provinces, and they have a lot of energy there now that's very valuable. But Canada didn't get it right in the 70s. Now, Carney's a brand new prime minister. Unfortunately, the last administration what can you say? The numbers are horrific.
Right.
Justin Trudeau, I call him the idiot king. He devastated the economy there. Everything by the numbers is a disaster. Carney comes in. He's got a majority mandate. We have to give him a chance. He's only been there a year and a month or something, so nothing's really happened yet. But if he could pull this off and figure out how to not piss it away, because the Canadian government has not had a good track record of managing anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying on him, but just the last 10 years, we're at the bottom of the G7 up there in terms of everything. And so I'm hopeful, but I'm like everybody else, it's a wait and see situation. Generally speaking, government's really, really bad at managing money, unless you're a Norwegian.
I'm with you on that one. They are very bad at it. Kevin, before we go, got to ask you about the wellness culture. So you got this wellness kind of phase driven by Maha moms, and it's now making its way to teenagers, with more young people buying into the idea of clean eating and natural living. I know you've been vocal about health and wellness over the years. A couple years ago, I believe, you shared your wellness routine, which at least at that time was 5 a.m. wake up, 12-mile elliptical bike ride, weightlifting, 10,000 steps per day. I love that teens want to get healthy, Kevin. They seem very susceptible to a lot of like online fads too. So what's your advice to the young people who want to get as healthy as Kevin O'Leary?
Well, what I've learned in going online, because I've gone way deep down the rabbit hole on longevity, my goodness, about 80% of the stuff you see is BS, but there are some basics. They're very simple. Number one, stop eating crap food. Number two, sleep 7 hours and 20 minutes a day. Number three, exercise every day. I just finished my 9-mile bike ride and went in the gym for 20 minutes before I came on the air here. I do it every day. I mean, basically, longevity is about mental acuity and mobility. You want to kind of get in past your 50s. And the way to do it is, I mean, look, there's a lot of other ideas, but the simple basics are don't eat crap food, eat more protein, less carbs. Number two, sleep. Number three, exercise. The one thing I must say, of course, you can't smoke, don't do drugs. I don't do any of that. I drink wine, which is bad. And that's my one sin because it really disrupts REM sleep. But I love my Montrachet. What can I say?
Well, it maybe is good for the soul, Kevin. That would be a different segment. Kevin O'Leary, it's